Welcome everyone. Welcome to Go Gardening. I'm here at the home of David and Nora, and we're in the Northwoods area, and I want to say that this landscape is about as close to perfect of a xeriscape, it's not zero, xeriscape, as you possibly can. So Nora, tell me a little bit about what the goal was initially.
The goal was to be xeriscape. Really, our whole idea was to have as little grass as possible.
That's the key.
To have an attractive backyard with a little bit of grass. And plants that we didn't have to water constantly.
Water constantly? How about mowing?
We virtually, the only thing we have to mow is a small patch of grass over there.
Yeah, and so I think that's the key aspect. Save on water, save on maintenance.
Right.
Well, that's great. We're going to look at some of the areas here let the folks see some of what the work that you've done. All right?
Excellent.
All right, let's go. So Nora and David, tell me a little bit about why you kind of changed the stone or changed from grass to stone, particularly like this flagstone and the decomposed gravel.
Well, Mark, we had a problem with flooding coming from our neighbor's yard, which we were trying to get a handle on that. And so we built a wall here, which put water out on the street. But then we still had this area which had been destroyed by the water and something to do with that. So we didn't want to put in something that would still require a lot of work. So we really liked the idea of putting this gravel as a space and then putting stuff in the middle of it to make it having some panache to it, you know. Yeah. So we've got a round table area, which we could have in the past we've had a table there, but we don't. The table can come and go. But you come sit here, and you know the birds are here and everything.
And it's very shady back here.
Very shady.
Nice breeze blowing through here.
And it's the longer we look at it, the more that we like this.
Right.
And we'll be looking at these plants over here, but they'll it also makes a way to put in a big pots with really big show plants that don't really take very much maintenance.
And we've done several videos on container gardening. I really like it, and we'll talk about those in a bit. So those are very nice. Who picks the plants?
Who picks the plants? That's a good question. I tell you what, our wonderful gardener picks a lot of these. He did a lot of this gardening, but I think we probably pick the ginger.
Because I noticed there's some rosemary and some rock rose and some other really interesting native plants on that. And that's a key aspect of xeriscape. So you're picking native plants as well as reducing the
I would say that
turf.
we were picking native plants,
Yes.
Yeah. All of these are plants that I really like. I love rock rose.
I think it's really good, the Pavonia rock rose. And so, well, let's just take a little brief stroll down this way. Just follow me. Let's just go.
It needs some water.
Well, Nora, these two containers are really aesthetically pleasing to me.
Yeah.
What are the plants in here?
These are gingers. And there's a reason for these big pots. You see this green thing over here?
Yeah.
I wanted to hide that.
Okay. So the little valve.
Yes. And anyway, these gingers do really well. You probably know that gingers die back in the winter.
And a lot of people they're more familiar with the variegated ones that they may see very often. These aren't variegated ones. These are really, really nice ornamental. These are taller than the ones I'm used to.
They are, and this one is supposed to bloom a white bloom, which it will eventually.
A white bloom, okay.
But it takes a while.
But it blooms at a different time.
It blooms later.
Well, that's good. We have continuous colors.
And these blooms they'll be out here for at least 6 weeks or
for
longer.
A long time.
They just, when they get up big like that, and there may be more that come up through here, every year there are more blooms.
But they're multiplying in ground, so every year they get bigger and bigger. And more leafy and more
How
bloomy.
often do you have to water these?
Not often.
Not often at all?
No, not at all.
Even though they're in a container?
Probably every other week.
Every other week?
I think so.
Another definition of a true xeriscape
There
garden.
you go.
All right. Let's go look at something else over here. Well, Nora, I almost made a big mistake. These are Chinese pistache.
That's right.
And you told me, I find them a really good tree in most of Texas, very drought tolerant, beautiful red color, but there was some opposition to you.
There was opposition, and there were a number of arborists, I guess.
Arborists, and maybe we should say just radio personalities, and we'll just
That
leave it at
too.
that.
That too.
They didn't think that this was a
Right.
great tree.
Who really were not pleased with Chinese pistache trees, but I don't know. We liked everything we saw about them. And
They very drought tolerant. They produce really good fall color for you. Yeah.
They've been tough little trees, and they're not even that little, but they've got a wonderful canopy.
And you correctly pointed out, one is female and one is male.
That's right.
And yeah, we strongly encourage the use of the male. But it's an excellent choice. I think they've done really well for you.
We did good.
Yeah. So, David, we also want to talk about some of the plants in here. Who chose some of these? Because these are some of my favorite ground cover.
Are they really?
Yeah.
We've worked with our gardener, and he's been very helpful in terms of suggesting plants, and then we've had some of our own favorites, like this. Is that
This is American beautyberry.
A beautyberry, yeah. I get the different berries confused, but
right.
yes, the beautyberry is absolutely wonderful. The purple berries and the birds love them.
I was going to
so
say,
in
do the
fall.
birds come in and feed on them?
Not until they're ripe.
Right, but I mean,
right.
then they really come in.
And they will strip these plants of the berries, which is fine. And we love watching that happen. So it's been very pleasant.
And I noticed the types of ground covers here, these large ones. So we have flax lily and liriope, and so the gardener chose those.
The gardener chose these. He introduced these. These are pretty new. These have been here just about a month or two.
Are those the sedges?
These are sedges, and that's a different family altogether from
Correct,
the liriope.
that is.
Yeah.
And he showed up one day with a truck full of those things.
Of sedges.
And he says, "We don't see these very often, but they're really good."
So you got like a sale on them and decided
Right.
this would be a good place
And
for them.
they
That's
are
great.
They just work great.
Right.
Oh no, I love them just because of the variety that it brings to the landscape.
There's a different look. Yeah,
It is,
entirely
it is.
different look.
And then I see some more of your favorite rock rose
Rock
over
rose, which I love. Yes. And just various little things that we throw in. There's some coreopsis over there and here.
here. And then your beautiful Japanese maple.
And the
that you have
Japanese
here.
maple, which I never would have thought of, but our gardener did that and was convinced that would work. And for the first year it did nothing. We thought it was a failure, and then it burst into...
That flame, yeah, and I agree with him. I think that's about the best place in the garden for it. So it's very shady.
It seems to work there,
yeah. Yeah.
Watch your head.
I know, watch my head. So, just want to talk a little bit about, hey Dave, come on in. Come in the shot. Come in with me. So anyway, who thought of this water feature over here?
It's a hard thing to say. We've had a water feature there for a long time. I don't know how it all got started. This is not the original fountain.
It is not the original fountain.
No, but this is the one that's worked out best for us.
This is a beautiful one. We call this a live water because
Right.
it's always bubbling. It's always fresh water for the wildlife. And you said it's just constant.
Oh yes, all day long, especially in the summertime. They come to the water, they drink it, they bathe in it.
Well, that was special. I thought we had a bunch of ducks coming in for a flyway to use the water feature.
Indeed.
It was only your phone, though, wasn't it?
Well, I agree.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, that was great. It worked out perfect. We were talking about birds and we were talking about a water fountain, and we had the ducks coming in. We thought we had ducks coming in. Anyway, another great plant right here is, what is that again?
Bamboo muley.
Bamboo muley. And that's a really, really interesting grass. Now, is it evergreen, though?
Well, no, it dies back, and we cut it off down to the ground, you know, come winter, and then it grows back. It's tough as nails.
I was going to ask you, how often do you water it?
We practically don't.
There you go.
Now, I have watered it once this year.
Once this year,
because it's been such a dry year, it really needed help. But no, we just ignore it mostly.
Great. So that's one, all the muley grasses are really, really good. So I just want to point that one because I do think it's very nice. Has a bamboo flavor, but not a bamboo.
But it's not really in the bamboo family.
No.
No.
So David, tell me about the interesting railroad tracks we have right here.
It's something I've wanted to do for many years, and I've built these, or had somebody built up the rock stuff when they were doing this deck and the rock walls around. And it's a hobby that I just, every once in a while, I take them out and run them around and fool around and have fun with them.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
We've enjoyed it.
It's great.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you for coming. And we look forward to seeing it all.
All right. Well, I want to thank David and Nora for allowing us to be on their beautiful landscape here. It's a perfect example of a xeriscape, and that is minimum amount of turf, minimum amount of hardscape, but it all works together with the native plants. So thank you so much. This is a great example, and you should be really proud.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Go Gardening videos. So get out there and garden and save some water.
Ever wonder where all of the water we use to drink, bathe, cook, garden, and put out fires comes from? Ever wonder how our water supply is safeguarded to ensure it's there for generations to come? The answers to all your questions will be waiting for you at the Edwards Aquifer Authority Education Outreach Center. Book your free visit today at eaaeoc.org. The EOC is the place to be.
Welcome everyone to the Go Gardening Show. We're here at the Bulverde Oaks, and I'm here with Clay Thompson, and you're with Green Spaces Alliance. Yeah. What is your title here?
I'm the Director of Conservation and Stewardship.
All right. I want Clay to tell us a little bit about Bulverde Oaks and Green Spaces Alliance.
Sure. So we're out here at Bulverde Oaks Nature Preserve. It's our preserve that we've owned for a little over a decade now. We Green Spaces started out as a land trust. We are a land trust, which is a nonprofit that's about protection of open space. That's why one of my names and title is conservation. So I do a lot of conservation easement work, large lands protection, and all the way down to very small lands protection. Every land trust has someone that does my job. Unique to Green Spaces, we have two other programs that are more popular or well known in the community. So we have our community gardens program, which has an education component, teaching people about gardening and nature in their communities, and we facilitate a network of about 26 community gardens throughout the city. And then we have our Picture Your World program, which is our youth education through photography. Title I schools, other students will come out on a field trip as part of their school program and learn about nature and photography at the same time. And oftentimes it's the first time these kids are actually in nature, and it kind of cuts down on some of their fear of being out in the outdoors. One of my favorite things about that program is you'll have kids that are afraid of lions and tigers and bears in the woods here in Bexar County, and then they are taking photos of bees by the end of the day sitting on flowers. So just a really awesome program.
So that's great. They take the pictures. Is this one of the areas where they take the pictures?
It is. In Government Canyon, Phil Harberger Parks, or some other areas in the city.
All right. Well, we're going to walk around here in a little bit and see some things, but this little fellow right here might be a great picture here. A little walking stick.
I don't know if it's a little. I think it's a giant walking
It's a giant one. It's you're right. It's one of the biggest ones I've ever seen.
Me too.
All right. Well, let's go see if we can find something else as big as this, shall we?
Let's go.
Well, we talk about some of the programs here, and one of those programs is our tours that occur. When do those tours occur?
So we have a first Saturday hike every month that is led by Alamo area master naturalist. Gary Rogers is one of our big volunteers, and then I will come along on the hike as well and talk about some of the management that we're doing at the property.
Okay, and those are free?
They are $5
donation
to secure your spot, but it's a recommended donation.
And how do they register to get on the spot, or is it they just come up?
You can show up the morning of. You can also register online at our website. We'd recommend that you register online at our website beforehand so that we know that at least some people are showing up on that Saturday. And then you can also get to it from the Saws Water Saver Rewards website.
Okay. What's your website?
Our website is greensatx.org.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. Well, let's go and see a little bit more about Bulverde Oaks Nature Center. Okay. All right, let's look at some really cool native plants that people can use in their yards.
Yeah. So we have
What about this one right here?
Yeah, we've got our inland sea oats. We've got these all over the property. These are a great native grass that we can use to cut down on, they don't require a lot of water, very drought tolerant. And you can see they come up with their seed heads early in the summertime. So. And
do they change at all, or is this any kind of color?
Yeah, they'll get a kind of a lighter yellow color as they develop. And then you also have the frostweed over here that is a beautiful plant. I know it says weed, but it's a beautiful white flower. And so those are great flowering plants to put in your yard as well, also drought tolerant.
And speaking of wonderful ground covers in the shade, all the horse herb that's underneath here.
Yeah.
Did you know that? That's all horse herb.
Oh, yeah.
Did you learn something? Okay. And what else do we have here? We see, some soapberry.
Yep, we've got soapberry. It comes up naturally here, but soapberry is a great tree for around the area. And it has a similar seed, looks like chinaberry, but soapberry is a native.
A native one, okay. And it doesn't use a lot of water.
Doesn't use a lot of water, and it's also great for native wildlife.
Okay, well, let's look something over here. Yeah. So Clay, this is another part of the prairie restoration?
Yeah. We've got a couple of prairies across the property. This all is on the Edwards Plateau, but we show representations of the South Texas prairies. And so you've got switchgrass that's coming up over there, nice big bunchy grass. Looks like Johnson grass, but it's a native, unlike Johnson grass.
And we think that maybe the one to the right is a Johnson grass. So it's a nice comparison. Yeah. Johnson grass, ugly, green, native. Beautiful blue-green color.
Blue-green color, it's a beautiful.
So there's some other native grasses all throughout here?
Yeah, so we also have little blue stem. We've got some more oats, inland oats out there. And those are all just really great native grasses to that you can have in your front yard. They change colors, they're beautiful.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is these are ones that homeowners in San Antonio can put in their yard?
Yeah, I recommend it highly. I've got some in my front yard because they turned beautiful fall colors, purples and blues. But yeah, a little blue stem, bushy blue stem out here as well. They are all just great native grasses, don't require watering during the summertime, so they just really will help out to keep your front yard green, and at the same time you don't have to water.
And I see a few wildflowers out there as well.
Definitely, yeah, Texas thistle out there. We just have a ton of forbs. They're just a beautiful, they're great for the wildlife to eat, and then they're also just beautiful for us as homeowners. So got a lot in my front yard.
Well, thank you very much. So let's go look at one important feature here on the property.
Excellent.
Well, that was a bit of a jaunt. Hopefully we're going to see some really cool stuff. Oh, here we are. Okay, so Clay, tell me a little bit about what we have here.
Yeah, so being on the Edwards Plateau, we have sinkholes on the property. They're extremely important. You know, a karst feature that allows water to get into the Edwards aquifer much more quickly, and it's kind of on a bit of a fault line. So
A bit of fault line because we're on the plateau near the recharge zone. We're not actually on it, but we're real close.
Really close.
We're about 100 feet away.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So now you don't do anything with the leaves or anything like that. That acts as a natural filter.
It does, and it stops, you know, people or mammals from going inside the cave that is potentially down there, and you know, it lets the water seep through and takes all the toxins and things that are flowing on the overland.
All right. Well, that's real important for us.
That's right.
That's where we get most of our water still, is from the Edwards Aquifer.
Exactly.
So, that is really cool. So,
and then we manage the area to kind of keep.
I was going to say, so we're not getting any hardly any pollutants coming into that because it's a natural area around the sinkholes.
That's right. And so we have, you know, Texas persimmon, cedar elms, live oaks, and juniper around here.
And all these wonderful grasses that,
right.
again, a homeowner could put into their yard.
That's right. And this all could be how your front yard looks, you know. I really like to point out the Texas persimmon, too, because it's got the smooth bark, looks like a crepe myrtle.
Right.
But really great for wildlife. But these all, their roots are going down into the sinkhole, and it allows them to get the water. It also lets filter out. So.
Okay. Oh, as an additional filter.
That's right.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Let's
great
go.
talking to
Let's
you.
go look at some more.
Heck yeah.
All right. Cool. Let's go this way. So, Clay.
Yeah.
I get questions on this plant, quote plant, all the time. Do you get questions on that?
Not too much out here. Most people kind of know what it is and the benefit it has for our environment. But yeah, that beautiful lichen that grows.
This is lichen, L-I-C-H-E-N. It is a combination of plant and fungus. So that's why I went plant, air quotes. It's usually silver on the trees, but then when it kind of comes out during a rain or just after a rain, it has this beautiful yellow and orange on it. It purifies the air.
That's right. It's one of the best air purifiers we have. You know, we talk about trees absorbing some of our toxins and grasses, but the lichen really
does it.
Really increases its surface area. You know, is always the important part.
So here on the northeast side of town, we got really good air, obviously.
I don't know if that's a great sign, but the fact that it is here tells us that we don't have a ton of toxins. You know, it's still gonna, you know, you're still gonna get your allergens, you're still gonna get your particulate matter 2.5, but it means that we don't have extremely smoggy air, or else this wouldn't live.
No, that's right. It wouldn't live. All right. Well, let us press on.
I don't remember where I read it at, but I believe this is the edge of the Clausen-Steuben Ranch.
The what?
The Clausen-Steuben Ranch.
Oh, okay. Hey, Clay, wait. What is this?
Oh, this is more of the switchgrass. This is probably one of the biggest sites of switchgrass in the county. But you can see it's just a great water-loving species. but it's drought tolerant, so it can make it through our harsh winter or our harsh summer times, and flourishes like this when it gets a little bit of rain. This area is a lowland, so it has a lot of water in it usually, and then we actually have some water on the other side of it, little creek.
I can see a homeowner putting this along the edge of their property.
Yeah.
It'd be a great native grass and fulfill a kind of a buffer for against the neighbors. So this is great.
And the other thing that I forgot to mention about all the native grasses is they have deep roots. So that's going to help with water infiltration, gets water into the aquifer, but also as a homeowner, it means that you won't have standing water.
You won't have standing water.
Or water flushing off, from storm water or something.
So if you lived on the bottom of a hill,
yeah,
it'd be really great. You could put it, and then the water coming off it from a neighbor's property would be infiltrated by this grass.
That's right into the ground, like little tiny little pipes going into the ground.
Oh, great. Okay, so this is switchgrass.
Yep.
All right, great. Let's go. Let's go to the end. Well, this is a wonderful spot, Clay. Nice and shady. And this is some of the biggest trees?
Yeah, we've got a couple of larger ones, but they're in the woods. This is the easiest one to see. But yeah, this beautiful live oak, a few hundred years old probably, over the plateau, so it's hard to tell, but yeah.
Oh. Well, I want to thank you for allowing us to be out here and refresh everybody's memory. What are the times for the free walks?
The walks start at 9 o'clock first Saturday of every month, and they last till about 11:30, depending on what trail people want to go on.
And it's advisable to pre-register on the website. All right.
Which is greensatx.org, or go to WaterSaver and it'll take you to our website.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And I want to thank you for watching. Get out there and garden and save some water.
So, how does enjoying the many beautiful parks and natural areas located in the Trinity Glen Rose Groundwater Conservation District help protect the clean water stored in the Trinity Aquifer? You can learn more at trinityglenrose.com/pollution prevention.
Litter goes with the flow. Join the San Antonio River Authority in protecting area creeks and the river. Don't let litter trash your river. Let's all be river proud.